All right, let's get into the Daniel son that is going to be born inside all men as you're stepping into the dojo, and the tiger of the 2022 and the dragon of the 2024, and that's the water and the wood. And then you have the wood snake this year, that's that serpent, that semen. And the oval and the ovulation office has been there with the egg and that son of a man, the Elon, and all those little things. So let's tie in some things here as the Cash Patel is showing the FBI mixed with the UFC call today, and that's part of that grappling, and that's tied to the Kumite, and the Kumite is the blood sport. And we see Kat Middleton saying that her kids can't participate in this ancient barbaric ritual of wiping the blood on the face. And she called it blood sport and those types of things, or the writer, whoever. Blood sport is mentioned in the article. Okay, so that takes you to the Jean-Claude Van Damme on one spectrum. And then the blood on the face smearing takes you to the Red Dawn when they have to drink the blood and all those things. So the Red Dawn is the Russian invasion. And we see Don coming in and doing what he's doing with the Ukraine. And that's tied to also the Ukraine kick in one way. And then I forget the dude's name, but there was it's like Eli Crane or whoever. But that was tied to Trump yesterday or the day before. Anyways, that's tied to a crane kick. The Daniel son is going to be being born in all types of fashions upon the men as they're taken into the time of Daniel, and the vision is breaking open, and the television is upon you, and all these things are merging together, and the four kings of Daniel are there, and the Antichrist, so-called, are there, and they're there to take you into a new time, and there's a wall of the 666 that keeps the people back, and all those little different things. So, the old age is being gathered up as the new age is opening, and the old age is cultured in different lights according to the candlestick and the horns. So this will be where some people go to war, or they've already taken the shots in the arm on the battlefield as the armies gathered way back in the 2021 time frame when the lockdowns came and Jesus said they've taken your keys. All right, so these are just those things where the Jesus and those things are being shown to you on the cross in different ways, and the Jesus, and these things are as the realities are merging. So the key is the life force, okay? The AI, and that's the Kia, that's used to start, till an opponent and intimidate, and that's part of the bridegroom, and express confidence, and that's part of the express that's being shown for the Elon Musk and those things, and express victory, and all those things are just some dark sentencing that you can hear, kind of hopefully made easy, that you can break things down, because all things are built on these days that we are in and collapsing into as we go in and out. And that's where you're in this kind of thing, and the capstone cornerstone is getting smaller, and you go through that hole and you realize there's a whole nother thing here, and then but you're also there saying, come on guys, come on, you gotta make it through. But you're crazy, we can't squeeze through there. Anyways, you can't, but you might have to break some holes during this dojo session, break the walls before the collapse in on you, because it shows you can break some bricks. So as the bricks are coming, maybe break the bricks a little bit so much, but there's only so many bricks are stacked up against you, you're just not gonna win. All right, and we have so many nations that have already joined the BRICS, so this is where the people have been taking some brick punches, maybe. And they've been gathering a couple of little stable ground issues so they can practice their little Ukraine kick. And that Ukraine kick is when the Daniel and you comes up to the crossroads, and you got this, I forget his name, the blonde haired dude, and the bad guy, the Cobra Kai, sitting across from you at the mat, and you're all being taken up there into the mat with this UFC and the FBI and all these things. The dojo is being brought in different ways, and the dragon and the tiger, these different years, those have been stacked up within all. And as you're prepared, the Joe's already been before you. Now you have the dough there, and that's part of the bucks and the money, and then that coming back is also the floods and all that stuff. So that would be the Joe, the go, the ho, and Christmas spirits all now for the 2025 to the 25 on 9/11, and then that also ties into what they're talking about with Trump on the South Carolina, placing Trump on a 250 bill with a reflector back, and that takes us into the 26, 27, and then a reflector point for the mirror that we've learned on the 1980 point in the 89 zone that we've been in is looking back. Since we're on the backbone and the backside, we can also be carried into the 26 time frame, which would be 27 and 28. So the 11th eruption is mentioned today in Kilauea. 13 hours, so maybe on the 13th eruption or the 12th or whatever for that Christmas spirit. And then also we got the whatever was number 11 today. Katy Perry on the 11th human flight on the Shepherd, going up into space. So the Shepherd flight is tying into the Minister Starmer meeting today with Trump. And then the other day he met with the Emmanuel Macron in the Paris. So this is part in that handshake he did. So then we got the martini shaker that was being shown yesterday. And then we got the martini being talked to the Newsom today. So then the Newsom is tying into the Gene Hackman, who was tied into the Mississippi burning, and then those types of things. So either way, the Epstein files are talking about the list or the flight logs or whatever. They'll make you sick, and the sick is tied to that purple party. And the purple is tying to the waters for the purple pools as they overlap all these little things to just send people through the rocker, okay? Or the squeezer for that. They're going to get that OJ in a matter of speaking, and they're going to go through that ringer as they're given the new suds and the new soap and the laundry and all these things, and they're going to be cleansed. And they're going to be dunked and taken in and then taken out kind of thing. So that's where you keep going and you get washed and clean and reprogrammed kind of thing. In a matter of speaking, you can go forward, or you get left behind and you break off into these whatever kind of subcultures that we've been shown in the tell-a-vision, and now the tell-a-phone, and the ET phone home, and the aliens upon you, and the illegal aliens, and all these things. So that's where things are going to get interesting as everybody's taken into that office. And then the Epstein's can show the flight logs or whatever. This can be like tied to a book of life in a way, and the signatures for that wedding party. And this can be why we like collect signatures today. We're going to see kind of in different ways why we do what we do in the past as it's all collapsing, and it becomes more apparent when we get closer and closer and things go cool, whatever, and you understand, people? But either way, so the purple ties you to the Gus, the deer boy, and the deers is the bucks, and then the bucks takes you into that time where she's screaming at all the deer in the leave this world behind, and the leaves come out in the summertime, and that summertime is nigh as the figs, the figure scatters, and the cats here with the blood sports and such, with that helicopter collision with the fig harvest. And the fig is that fruit that develops within, and it's tied to the wasp per se. And either way, so that fig tree, those things are going to be giving rise in you as in your soil, your soul system, as your body, your temple are going to go into different degrees of hell on earth to get you into a new being. Okay. So as you're taken into the dojo, the Shotokan, the spirit first, technique second. We see the technique showing with the Elon Musk with that tech shirt, and then we're in that Christmas time frame of February, the 12th month for the Roman calendar. And then depending when spring is and the spring equinox and all these things, March or April can be the first month in the Roman calendar per se. So it would depend on, it's just a clock mechanism. So this is where we learn from these things that we've been seeing, but it's where everything's lining up perfectly to where it's the last minute boxing and unboxing and these things as you're going in through these little time slots, because as one side closes, you have to open up and chisel out the other side, and you're kind of like live in this time frame. You don't know where you don't know. You know some things, but you don't know everything until it's like opened up, and that's where like the Cash Patel with the FBI and UFC thing today with the Bakwa and that kind of thing. That mirror. That's where and then the octagon and all those things, and the sepulcher and whatever, because the spring can be the fall. And anyway, so that's where those who have the eyes and ears can see and hear. But it's at a point in time where Babylon, I think, is going to get their final years opening up, and to where it gets all kind of weird on them or whatever, and everything's kind of like preset. So just be aware of a little hour of the dojo, but we'll get into a little short part 2 on here.